Hello YouTube, welcome back to Flight Sim World, and we're continuing out in the Grand Canyon. We're just passing over the no-fly zone right now, or one of the no-fly zones, and as you can see, there's the airport. That's the Grand Canyon National Park Airport, and we're just passing over one of the no-fly zones, which should actually be cleared. We should be clearing that. If we just zoom in on this, can I not? No. Shift 2, Shift 1. There we go. Shift 1. Okay. If I just have a look on here, that's actually not. Okay. First of all, that is not that. Dovetail Games, you need to sort that out, because that is not the same thing. I mean, I know it's the same. It's a Garmin product, but that is a GNS 530. This here is not a GNS 530. So yeah, anyway, if we look at that, see that bit there? Ooh, we are swinging over, right? See this bit over here? That's a no-fly zone, and what we're going to do is we're just going to clear that. And as you can see, I've sort of flown down a little bit. We're going to see if we can jump into the Zuni Point corridor. And that's the Colorado River right below us. And we're going to see if we can get into that corridor and then fly along it, sort of northwards. And then there may be an airport called Marble Canyon Airport. And I want to see if we can land at Marble Canyon Airport. The runway looks like it's something like runway 4. But I don't know. So we're about to try this. Right, down we go. So the way I'm going to do this, because the trim is already set very, very nicely, I'm going to just drop the power. And hopefully this should get us dropping out the sky. Very, very controlled. Here we go. So we're clear the no-fly zone. There is another no-fly zone just around there. So we're going to have to avoid that one too. There we go. And we're holding a decent speed. And we're now dropping quite at quite a simple rate. I'll just push the nose forward ever so slightly as we do this. You can see I've just changed the rudder trim ever so slightly there. You see I've just knocked it back a bit. There we go. And I'm probably going to knock the aileron trim. Ooh, that's too much. There we go. We'll keep ourselves diving. Now we do need to be turning though, because we need to clear this section as we're dropping. And that's the place we're going into. Marble Canyon. So yeah, if you don't know if you didn't watch the first part of this video, do go check the first part of the video. I talk a bit more about the update, the community update, the big thing in the community update, which is the lighting. And as you can see, the lighting is a lot better than it used to be. So really, in this, we're just exploring in this one, we're really exploring the Grand Canyon more, as opposed to really looking at what's in the update. Can I switch on all my lights again by any chance? No. Okay, so we're about 12,000 feet, it seems. 11,500 feet. We need to drop a lot further. And we're going to see where we can go. And let's see if we can get ourselves dropping at 1,000 feet a minute by any chance. There we go. Right, we've cleared the no-fly zones now. As far as I know, there are no other no-fly zones around here. And if you want to see the behind-the-scenes footage for that, from when I had a look and tried to find out all this information, do check out my Patreon scheme. If you support me on Patreon, you'll find some behind-the-scenes footage. That's the river, that's the Colorado River right below us. There it is. That's the Colorado River. So we are following that river. Right, let's get the let's get this trimmed. I mean, not trimmed. Let's get this mixture sorted out a bit. We're managing to hold 145 knots, which I'm quite happy about, despite the. We're speeding up now, but we're going to go idle on power here. And now speeding up to 160, but we are dropping at a very good rate. And we'll slow down very, very soon. Right, we are now clearly in the canyon. We are in the Marble Canyon. And we get to have a look around. We do actually get to have a look around now. So, let's take a look. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I like that view. Can we drop us a little bit more? That view is a little scary, but that's why I chose this plane. I chose this plane on purpose, so that we've got some opportunities to visit a small plane. We'll have some opportunities. So, what does the scenery look like around here? Well, it's not fantastic, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, the landmass looks about right. It looks like the Grand Canyon. You know, there's lots of sharp edges, cliffs. You can see where the river has carved through the canyon. So in that regard, it's okay. It's pretty good. Alrighty. So in that regard, it's actually pretty good. It's a little bit, the textures aren't all that. Again, look, you can see I'm pretty close here. So you can see the textures, the resolution. They're resolving themselves now. But here we go. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Let's get ourselves some power back in here. Now we're probably going to have to stay pretty slow through this. But we are in the Grand Canyon. We're actually flying in the Grand Canyon, and it doesn't look too bad. It really doesn't. That's astounding. I wish I could go into an outside view here, but I really can't because I've got to be so careful about where I'm flying. I've got to be really, really careful about where I'm flying right now. So you can see there. It's going to open up though in a moment. Just following the Colorado River around. That's a sharp turn. That's really sharp. Oh. I think I'm going to have to pull up out of this a bit. I think I'm going to have to do some pulling up out of this and some pretty daring maneuvers. There we go. We're good. We are good. Yep, we're good. That was a sharp turn. And I suppose this is down to not having a powerful enough computer. These aren't resolving as well as I'd hope at the moment. But, I mean, actually, they aren't resolving as well. So, again, it's down to... I think they need to work on... They do need to work on actually getting the... here we go. Yeah, they need to work on getting the mesh resolution up. Because that's, I mean, you know, this place could look absolutely beyond stunning. It genuinely could look beyond stunning, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong, the way the mesh is modeled, it looks great. It really looks great on how it's modeled, but overall, it doesn't look, you know, all that in terms of textures. And that's where I think Flight Sim World really are missing out at the moment. It's textures. Look at that, this plane's auto-trimmed itself. Because I set up the trim in the last episode, it seems to be happy with 145 knots, and wherever we are, I just need to drop the power just slightly. But we are following the Colorado River along through, I believe this is the Marble Canyon, so... we should have an airport coming up. Oh, there it is. There's an airport coming up. So we're going to see if we can land at this airport once we get to it. I think that's Marble Canyon Airport. And again, this is something that I did beforehand. Look forward, because I think I'm going to crash otherwise. And see, that needs to improve. This way. Okay. Very, very nice though. Overall, very nice. The new lighting really does give it a very realistic look as well. It's just, like I said, it's just a shame about the mesh. So, it says here we're at 4,000 feet. Now, I'm just going to point out that the airport that we took off from, Grand Canyon National Park, is at 6,000 feet. There's another canyon. Is at 6,000 feet. I think 6,609 feet is Grand Canyon National Park Airport. So the fact that we're at 4,000 feet at this moment in time means that we are actually very, very low. Am I going to fit through this? I think I can fit. Yeah, I can fit. Do that. You can't say I'm not a decent pilot now. I think I can say I'm an okay pilot. Particularly as I'm having to use the rudder to try and keep the plane from swinging too far. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the plane... As I'm taking the plane through the canyon, I'm actually having to use the rudder slightly to avoid it going sideways too much. So I'm trying to make the plane as thin as possible so we don't hit anything. And it doesn't help that I don't have anything like track IR or anything to guide me along. Because if I had track IR... Ooh, that's close. Ooh, that's also close. Oh god. If I had track IR, it would be better. I'm thinking of actually climbing out of this, actually. Yeah, I think I'm just thinking of climbing out. And swinging around. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. Turn, use the elevator to pull us around. And there's the airport up ahead, you can see on the map. I do want to fly back down into that, but given my current field of view and the lack of track IR, odds are I'm going to end up crashing. There is a high chance I'll end up crashing in there. Right now, I assume this is some sort of horseshoe bend or something. So I'm going to climb up a bit, like so. Let that speed get me going, and then, yep, there we go. Then I'm going to pull it around this rock formation here. Brilliant. Come on, keep going. I think I'm gonna have to turn a little sharper. Use some more rudder here. I'm not going to be able to follow that too far. I made it round. It's not bad. Straighten up, and as soon as we clear this rock, we'll swing it back around. Nose up. It's all right. Come on, keep it swinging. I'm half tempted to avoid this area, but that's the way we need to go anyway. Come on. Come on. I know we're dropping height, but that's okay. We're not too bad. We're doing 140, 150, 160 knots. We're okay. We've got speed that we can scrub off here, you see, so that's a good thing. See, I think that's too narrow for an aircraft now. Particularly with my skill. Maybe it's not too narrow for an aircraft with a pilot who has the right amount of skill. But for me, that's a little bit too narrow at this particular moment in time. But I hope you guys are enjoying this little tour of the Grand Canyon, or specifically the Marble Canyon section. I think this is the Marble Canyon. I mean, I may have followed this along way too... No, it is, because we're only about 40 miles. Only 32 miles away from Grand Canyon National Park. It's just taken us that long to do 32 miles, though. Right. Let's see if I can get a decent photo here. Go. I just can't get a decent photo for a screenshot. I think it's going to have to be interior thumbnails here. We're almost there. We are almost there. So what do I need to see in the next community update? What do I want to see? Well, I really want to see mesh resolution improvements. That's something I really, really want to see. I want to see those mesh resolution improvements, because otherwise it's just, you know, it's not, I don't know. See, this, I think, as beautiful as it looks with the actual terrain, I think this could look so much better with the texture resolution improved and the mesh resolution improved. I just think it could look so much better. The problem is I can't see my shadow. And that's an issue, right? Should I... You know what? I'm going to skip this corner. That's going to be too tight. I'm going to literally power up here. You see, I can't see my shadow, and that's a problem. I bet you I could probably fit in a bunch of these canyon gate. You know, the actual gorge. It's sort of gone through. I bet you I could actually fit through them more than I think, but because I can't see my shadow, I'm like Peter Pan. I just can't see it. So I can't make an assumption there. But here we are. We're now going to see if we can open up and get ourselves into this airport. Now I believe the airport is in. Ooh, that's close. Actually, we're still a couple of dozen meters away. The airport to me looks like it's actually just above the canyon edge, but still in one of these. I mean, it looks like it's down in the canyon, but it's not like right the way down in the river. So it looks like it's at this height or something, which is kind of interesting. You know, having an airport at this particular height. So I don't know how far away we are from it. Not too far, I don't think. Since it is opening up, as you can see, the canyon's sort of opening up a little. And that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Particularly for a pilot whose wrists are starting to hurt a little bit from panic flying. That's not bad. That looks good. Ooh, it's still stuttering, but that looks quite good. The way that is. Like I said, I think it's just texture resolution. Community Update 4, you've really got to work on upping these textures. They could look spectacular. Honestly, they could. And particularly as this is a general aviation sim, we're looking at a lot of VFR. There's going to be a lot of VFR flying as opposed to IFR flying, and you need to be able to up that. You need to be able to up that resolution. Alright, what's my heading? Because the one that I was thinking of has a runway like runway 4. At the moment, I'm heading 030. So yeah, this is the airport, I believe. That's coming up. You can just see it just there. That's the airport that I believe is coming up. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I hope you guys are enjoying this video, and if you are, don't forget to subscribe, like, and go check out my Patreon scheme. And you'll be able to help me out, and I'll be able to make more videos like this. Right, the airport is where the heck is it? I think it's up. Speaking of up, there's a floating tree there. Hello. What's with the floating tree? It can't be up, can it? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is up. I think it is at this level. The level that I'm flying at right now, I think that's where it is. We're about to find out, though. We are about to find out. It'll slow us down, but I'm trying to sort of get through. It looks like there's some water up ahead as well. So let's swing ourselves in through this part. See if we can find this airport. And if we can't, what we'll do is we'll climb out of the canyon and see if we can spot it. Right. And that's the reason why I've bumped up the throttle. It's because I'm just going to try and get to it quickly and then slow down and work out where we're supposed to be going. So it looks like the canyon is evening out slightly now. With that being said, look at those. Right, we're going to climb out of this actually. I'm actually going to climb out of this because I want to see what's out here. I think it might be here actually. Yes, I think. Yeah, I think it's on this plane. Look at this though. There we go. We'll climb out the canyon right here. That was spectacularly good. That was really, really good to fly through. Oh look, there's someone spotted us. Alright, let's work it out. Let's slow ourselves down and work out where this airport is. It should be literally right ahead of us. I can't see it. Oh wait, is that it? I think I see it. Actually no, do I see it? Yeah, is that it? No. Oh yeah, that is it. I think. There's a runway. There's definitely a runway. Let's do it. That's the one. So it is. It's just out of the canyon, but there's all these. Look at that. That looks really nice with the clouds. That looks really, really nice with the clouds. That doesn't look right. That bit of mesh there looks wrong. Just going to point that out, but oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. I don't think this has got any sort of PAPI indicators or VASI indicators or anything. I think this is just, you just fly it in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this plane slowed down and we're just going to fly it in. I think the runway heading is 4. So just I'm going to keep an eye out on it. Make sure I can still see it. There it is. We could land it on the road if we really wanted to. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Community Update 3 and the Grand Canyon. It is still a little bit difficult to see that runway, but I can definitely see it. Step 1 flaps. I must say, when you take the flaps out on this, the drag coefficient with the flaps out is absolutely incredible. It's really, really high. I think we're pretty good for the runway here. It looks like it's an uphill runway. Oh, we'll do. We'll manage. Another step of flaps. Let's get another stage of flaps in, and we'll just keep ourselves coming down slowly. There we go. Again, this is where you really start seeing again the terrain issues. Oh, that's a heavy landing. That's alright. We're down. We had a bit of a bounce there. Not too bad. Not too bad. And if we look over there. Nope. That's not too shabby looking as well. So that's the Grand Canyon. That is the Grand Canyon. Textures, not brilliant. Still need work. In fact, even you can just see here as well. Still need work. Mesh resolution though, quite impressive. Like, that is an impressive mesh resolution. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Flight Sim World. Leave a comment in the comments box below. Let me know what you think of Community Update 3 if you've got Flight Sim World, and if not, what did you think of the Grand Canyon? Is it something that is it something you'd see yourself flying through in Flight Sim World, or do you think it still needs some work? Last but not least, do support me on Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. You'll get behind the scenes posts, you'll get some random rambles, you'll get behind the scenes videos, vlogs, whatnot. You know, you'll get a bunch of stuff as things start building up. I'm still working on it. I'm still new to this thing, but I'm committed to getting the best things for my patrons, and hopefully, you know, extra little bits and bobs, even videos that may not make it onto YouTube. You know, videos I've made that I think maybe it's not completely YouTube quality, I might put it on Patreon. Thanks very much for watching, and again, I will see you guys in the next episode of Flight Sim World.